What is going on, everyone? My name is Jason, and this is the Google Pixel 6 Pro. What is going on, everyone? Jason here, and today we're taking a super early look at what will likely go down as the most hyped phone of 2021, the highly anticipated Google Pixel 6 Pro. Finally, the phone that was talked about, leaked, intentionally leaked, and rumored about for months made it into the studio, and man, I couldn't be more excited. And the main reason for that is that the Pixel lineup up to this point has arguably been the most bland, non-exciting smartphone offering for a while now. Not to say that they weren't solid devices, but it never seemed that much fanfare or marketing was ever put towards making these household phones. With the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, this is Google's go big or go home moment as it completely overhauled the design and form factor to make what could be a final run at being a relevant player in the premium smartphone market. Now, full transparency, Google was cool enough to send me out an early unit for me to check out, but the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro won't hit stores until October 28th. I did have to agree that I would not share my thoughts on how the phone performs or sample footage from the new camera systems until a later date, so stay tuned for a much more in-depth review coming very soon. But today I wanted to talk about what you're really getting should you decide to go with this phone, and there's a lot to go over. Now, before we jump into this review, in case you're new here, I'm Jason. I would really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And in case you're a tech junkie like me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all the reviews. And real quick, now that this phone is officially out, I have one very simple question for you. Would you actually buy the Pixel 6 or 6 Pro as your primary device? Why or why not? Curious to get your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Okay, first let's do a quick unboxing. You got your now standard non-plastic covered cardboard box with these two tabs holding it together. Peel those, and once you open it up, you're immediately greeted with the phone. Now I'm going to temporarily put that to the side to see what else comes in the box. You got your standard paperwork from Google, as well as the SIM ejector tool that's neatly packaged. And last, it comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable with a USB-A adapter. And yes, following that annoying trend that started last year, you get no charging brick in the box. Frustration aside, let's bring the phone back and take a closer look at the star of the show. And the first thing that I noticed right away is just how big the Pixel 6 Pro is. Its dimensions and weight makes this one of the biggest devices in the market today, and you notice how substantial it is the second you get it into your hand. And in my opinion, one of the most welcome changes to make its way to this phone is this shift away from the utility over style design approach Google has been using for a long time now, to one that better aligns with current flagship offerings. The Pixel 6 Pro leverages some premium material here, with the glass-on-glass design connected with a very nice metal frame. The buttons are ultra tactile and super clicky, and this phone just feels incredible in the hand. Yes, it is a fingerprint magnet as it has this glossy finish, but I do like this accent piece on the top that's slightly a different color and has a matte finish. It offers a nice bit of contrast to the overall look, and to me it's just leagues better than what Google was putting together before. And the component around the Pixel 6 Pro's physical design that is no doubt going to be the most eye-catching is this new camera housing. Google took a bold approach of steering away from the standard rounded corner box on the side of the phone direction and went with this really unique ledge design that expands across the entire width of the phone. It's definitely different, and I was worried that this ledge would get in the way of the day-to-day use. But 24 hours later, I have to say it's grown on me. And it's kind of nice the back of the phone has some symmetry again, and no doubt makes the phone stick out in a unique way. Now, another major way in which Google has overhauled the look and feel of the Pixel is with the new display. First of all, it's pretty massive, coming in at 6.7 inches, and it's a super premium panel. It's a QHD OLED display that comes in at a resolution of 1440 by 3120 for an impressive 512 pixels per inch. It has a very thin bezel for the forehead and chin, with a slightly curved edge design that gives you that infinity look, and a simple hole punch cutout for the front-facing camera, giving users an extremely immersive display. Google finally sunset that ultra-dated fingerprint reader on the back that they've been using forever, as the Pixel 6 Pro has an in-display version which helps keep the overall aesthetic really clean, and they didn't skimp on the luxuries either. The display in the 6 Pro has a variable 120Hz refresh rate that should provide for a very smooth user experience. Full transparency, Google hasn't had a perfect track record when it comes to high refresh rate displays. The Pixel 4 XL was kind of a disaster, but to be fair, it did way better on the Pixel 5. All to say, I'm really curious to see how this one's going to perform, and mainly if it's going to mess with battery life at all. Now, the Pixel 6 Pro is rocking a pretty beefy 5000 5000 mAh battery, so I'm feeling pretty confident about its ability to last throughout the day with moderate to heavy use. It also supports quick charging as well as wireless charging, which is nice. But I think the main thing that gives me some reassurance around battery life is that the new Pixel 6 and 6 Pro are using Google's new in-house Tensor chips. Not only should this give the new phone significantly more power, I was actually on a call with Google the other day with some of their designers, and they went into a lot of details how they designed their powerful chips to run at maximum efficiency. So it seems as though a lot of thought and care was put into making sure that all the heavy lifting Google claims this phone could do won't come at the expense of comfortable all-day battery life. Now we'll have to pressure test that to see if that's the case. And man, there's a lot of things Google is claiming this phone will be able to do from a performance standpoint, and there's a strong focus on security features as well. In fact, the Pixel 6 Pro is going to have 5 years of security updates, the longest support any Pixel will receive, which seems to underscore Google's commitment in this area. Moreover, a slew of image processing tricks are also being made available to users, such as Magic Eraser that claims it'll be able to erase unwanted parts in the background of an image. I mean, that sounds almost too good to be true, and I'm kind of preparing myself to be disappointed by that, but I hope Google proves me wrong. Either way, this is another major transition for the Pixel, as it's unapologetically used very clear mid-tier Snapdragon processors in the past, so Tensor is kind of a big deal. Now to touch on the cameras a bit more, the Pixel 6 Pro boasts some seriously impressive hardware. The primary wide angle is a 50 megapixel Octa-PD quad Bayer camera that has one of the largest sensors on any smartphone camera. It also has a 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 48 megapixel 4x telephoto zoom, as well as an 11 megapixel selfie camera with ultra wide capabilities, finally giving the Pixel a premium camera suite. And though I haven't tested out the cameras yet, I'm feeling pretty confident that the Pixel 6 Pro is going to produce some solid stills. I mean, Google has been crushing the competition with its computational still image processing since the Pixel 2, so I can only assume that it's going to get better with its ability to now leverage the power of the Tensor chip. The real wildcard is going to be what the Pixel 6 Pro brings to the table when it comes to video quality. This was another area in which the team at Google spoke at length about the improvements that Tensor is going to bring specifically to this area. What we know is that the 6 Pro will be able to shoot 4K video at either 30 or 60 frames per second, and super slow-mo 240 FPS video in 1080p. I am kind of bummed that there's no option to shoot 4K video in 24 frames per second, but I am curious to see what Google was able to pull off with the extra power of the Tensor when it comes to video. Kind of like how Google shocked the world with its still image processing many years back. My fingers are crossed that it does it again. So no doubt, the Pixel 6 Pro has a lot to prove. We all knew that coming in as it's shooting to play in the major leagues. And one thing that I think Google was smart to do was price this phone at $899. I personally thought that the Pro model would come in higher than that. And not to say that it's cheap or anything like that, but based on the specs and potential capabilities, I think it's competitively priced. That said, clearly we have to see if this phone could even walk the walk before we even talk about whether or not it's worth it. Again, a full in-depth review coming very soon, so make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on that. And let me know what you guys think about the Pixel 6 so far. Are you as optimistic as I am? Or are you feeling that Google bit off a little bit more than it can chew? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Okay, that's about it for this review. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you guys found it useful. Again, I'd really appreciate it. Check out these other reviews if you're looking for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.